Welcome to the world's most comprehensive Facebook ads course specifically designed for Shopify store owners. My name is John, and by the end of this course, you'll have everything you need to start effective Facebook ads for your Shopify business. But at first, why you should even listen to me. At 23, I've launched my first e-commerce brand with nothing but $500, and I've turned it into a profitable business. This is my e-commerce brand. I've scaled that business to over $1 million in annual revenue using paid ads alone. You can see here the numbers. I appeared on Dragon's Den where I pitched my business on national television. This is the episode. Founded Ad Burgers, where I've now managed over 100 plus active ad accounts. Help clients like Brandy, the fidget game, scaled from 0 to 3.2 million in just 14 months. This is the store. And after that, she actually landed the deal on Shark Tank. Me and my partner Andy have managed over 20 million on ad spend, and right now we have over 35 ad accounts under management, as you can see here. And in this video, it's going to be exhaustive because we're going to go through everything. How to set up your business manager, how to connect Shopify and Facebook, how to set up your pixel, how to import your product catalog, how to launch your campaigns, what type of targeting and settings you need to have inside your Facebook ads, how to generate great Facebook ad copy, primary text and headlines specifically, creative testing strategy, basically how to test new creatives inside your ad account, how to optimize your ad account and how to scale it, what your budget is going to be. We're going to go through everything. I want you to have this video as a guide so you can open it up and start setting up everything while we are doing it together. It's going to be real time, so I'm going to show you the process step by step. And always remember that you're going to learn Facebook ads when you're actually doing it. So keep this tab open and start creating right now your first Facebook ads. The first thing that you have to do is you need to have a Facebook profile. Everything is going to be nested below the Facebook profile that you have created. I'm totally against the idea of creating a new Facebook profile if you don't have right now, because it's going to take time for you to be able to start running ads. So find the old Facebook profile that you had when you were a teenager, for example. It is definitely going to help because it's going to have restrictions for you if you are a new user. Even if you do all the verification, if you have ID, if you post regularly, you're going to have issues with your ad account. So find your old Facebook profile and use that, and find the codes, find the old email. It's very straightforward process. You go into this page and basically you type forgot password. You're trying to reinstate your old Facebook profile. Now, let's say you found your old Facebook profile or you already have a Facebook profile. What you need to do after that is basically go into Google yet again and type Facebook Business Manager. Click this one, you log in, and you are going to end up in this page right here. Now you have to go to settings on the bottom left, and if you go in the top left corner, you are going to see a button that says create a business portfolio. You have to press that. You're not going to see this business portfolio right here. I have created this business portfolio before, but you'll have to create a new one. I did that just by pressing here. So this is what you have to do. Keep in mind that if it doesn't allow you to create a business portfolio, you need to use a different profile. In the past, it was very easy to open different business portfolios, but right now they limit each profile to a certain number of business portfolios. So create this one, and you are even if you have multiple businesses, you can use one business portfolio for all of those businesses. So what you can do is create business portfolio. You give it a name, first name, last name, and of course a business email, and press create. For this particular step, you can press next and try to connect all the Facebook page that you already have for your business in this business portfolio, or you can do it manually. We're going to do it manually so you know if you already have a business portfolio, how to connect it, how to connect your Facebook page to the business portfolio. Skip, confirm. Now, this is your business portfolio. We have created everything, but if you go to pages, you are going to see they're empty. Ad accounts, we don't have any ad accounts. If we go data sources, we see pixels. There's nothing. It's a brand new business portfolio. So what you need to do is you need to import the Facebook page that you already have into the business portfolio. You need to create an ad account. You need to create a catalog. You need to create a pixel. So we need to create all that ourselves. Now, because everything is confusing, I'm going to do a demonstration so you can understand how it all works. So we have this amazing visual that you can see right here. We have our Facebook personal profile. When you create a Facebook page, it is created under your Facebook personal profile that you are admin. And this is the business portfolio. Below the business portfolio, all those things are nested inside the business portfolio, which means like the ad account, the catalog, the forms, pixel, everything related to your business is under here. If you have access to your Facebook page, you need to move your Facebook page into your business portfolio, and you need to move everything into your business portfolio in order to be able to run ads. So your business portfolio includes everything, and we're going to manage everything through there. Keep in mind as well that for every different asset that it is included in the business portfolio, you need to give access to yourself. As you can see here, for example, because this business portfolio is empty, we don't have any pages to give access to. But let me go into this business portfolio that has some data inside. As you can see, by default, we have created an ad account for this particular portfolio, but we don't have access to. So because we are in here in people, as you can see that we have full control, we can go ahead and give access to ourselves. This goes for every different asset below the business portfolio. That includes like the pages. We already have access, but of course we can revoke access and assign access again for the data sources, the catalogs, the pixels that you might have, and everything. So now that we have our business portfolio that we have just created, what we need to do, first of all, as I showed here, is move our Facebook page into the business portfolio. If we already have one Facebook page, what we just had to do is go to pages, click add an existing Facebook page, and here you type the URL of the Facebook page, and it's going to be imported if you are the admin. If you are not the admin, of course, it is not going to be imported. If you created the Facebook page, you are going to have admin access by default. Now, if you don't have a Facebook page, what you need to do is you need to either click here and basically create a new page through here, or go into your Facebook profile and create a Facebook page here by clicking pages here, and basically create a new profile or page. And you're going to have it inside here, and then you use the URL to import it inside your Facebook page, inside your business portfolio. Now that we have our Facebook page imported into our business portfolio, we need to add our Instagram account. For the Instagram account, if you click add here, you can add your Instagram account as well, the same way that you would do for the Facebook page. But the best way to do it, because this actually is very buggy, you need to go into your Facebook page and click here and then press settings. Keep in mind that you have to be not in your personal profile, but inside your Facebook page. And here you're going to find where it says linked accounts. You click on that, and here where it says Instagram, you click on that and you connect your Instagram. With your username and password, you are going to very easily connect it with that. This way, you are going to have your Instagram account imported automatically right here. And that is very crucial. You need to have both Facebook and Instagram account connected together so you can run ads for Facebook and Instagram at the same time. Now that we have that already, the next step is to create an ad account. Click here and create an ad account. How you create an ad account? You click add and you press create a new ad account. So you press it, you give it a name. You use your own currency and your own time zone, because this is going to help with scheduling the ads and everything of that sort. Then you press next, then again next, agree, and create account. Here is where you add your payment info. The payment info, you can add it right now, or you can go in later where it says billing and payments right here and add it. But I definitely suggest you adding that right now because it's going to help you set up faster everything. So add payment info and you add here. Please use a credit card or debit card. Don't use PayPal. PayPal is going to be problematic. I have seen many ad accounts getting restricted or banned with PayPal, so use just credit card or debit card for that. As you can see here, you have to add your business and tax info if you have registered. And this is something that you should definitely do. It's going to help a lot with having less chance of getting banned because Facebook is notorious for banning people. So we need to have everything set up correctly so you don't get banned. Because if you are going to get banned, you might have trouble with running ads. Now that we have our ad account and our billing information set up correctly, what we have to do is basically connect our Shopify store with Meta. Now, what you have to do is you need to log in into your Shopify store, click apps and click all recommended apps, Shopify App Store, and you type Meta. This is the app that you have to install. Of course, there are other apps that are doing the same thing. Just use this one for simplicity reasons. You just press install and then install again. You press X and then you press get started. Here you press next, you connect account, and it's going to prompt you to connect your Facebook profile. Now Facebook, how it works, it's going to connect your Facebook profile with Shopify and it's going to show you all the ad accounts that you have, all the pages that you have. You can link the two because maybe especially if you have multiple Shopify stores, multiple business managers, this is going to definitely help you. After you press connect, you are going to see all the business portfolios that we have for this particular Facebook profile. You select the one that we have just created, you press connect, then you select here maximum. If you want to change that, you can do that here, but always select maximum. And here you just press create new pixel and then you press confirm. Agree and submit for review. This is going to take some time, but you can leave the page. Basically, right now it is creating the Facebook pixel, the catalogs, and everything associated with your ad account. As you can see, the process has finished. Also, it created a catalog. Let's go into our business profile and see what changed. If we go into data sources, we go into catalogs, you're going to see a catalog right here that yet again, as I told you here, you need to give access to yourself. So we have the catalog inside our business portfolio, which is this one right here. And what we need to do is we need to assign it to ourselves. So assign. I am assuming that it has also created a pixel, as you can see, yes. So we need to give access to ourselves as well. Assign people, yes. That's great. Now, connected assets. That's very important. You have to select connected assets and find the ad account that we have just created and press add. And now we are ready to go. Basically, if we go into the ad account and we press open in Ads Manager, right now we are going to be able to select a pixel and set up our own Facebook ads. First of all, congratulations. You have set up everything in regards to Facebook ads and you have successfully connected Shopify with Meta. Now what we have to do is set up ads. So we're going to cover what type of campaigns you need to run, what is going to be the budget allocation of those campaigns, how to set up, what type of ads you need to create, how to write copy, and lastly, how to optimize your ads. And now let's create our first campaign. For you to be able to create your first campaign, you need to press this button right here that says create. You press it and you see here you have so many options. First of all, you have a buying type where it's actually auction and reservation, and you have awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales. Now, you might be thinking that you need traffic into your store. So you might want to optimize for traffic, or you want to bring awareness for your brand. So you can select awareness. Engagement, because you want to create posts with a lot of comments and engagement. You can definitely do that, all those, but it doesn't work. like the best option for like the vast majority of Shopify stores out there, like 99%, is going to be sales. Because at the end of the day, you don't want traffic, you want sales. And the thing with traffic or awareness campaigns are campaigns that are going to bring you cheap traffic, but traffic that is not converting. So yes, you're going to pay less per person that it's going to visit your store. The CPMs are going to be very, very low, the cost per impression basically. But the thing is that you are not going to convert anyone, or you are going to convert a lot less than the people that you were going to convert if you were targeting on sales. The sales is just the conversion optimization event that you want to have. Basically, to explain it very simply, you tell Facebook what is your campaign objective, and Facebook is going to target people that are ready to fulfill this objective. So if you want to bring traffic into your store, it's going to show the ad to people that are like to click on ads without the intention to buy. For example, if you ask Facebook, I want sales, it is going to target people that are ready to make a purchase. So this is a targeting mechanism on Facebook, and that's why you need to have sales, because if you are not, then you are going to have people in your funnel that are unqualified, and people are going to visit your store, yes, but they are not going to buy. So your ads are going to be unprofitable. So it makes sense to do sales. You have all these other options that you can use, but just don't use them. Especially if you're not like a really big e-commerce or like any other brand. The other options would be reserved for brands that are really, really big. Right now, I'm assuming that you're watching this video, you are not super big as a brand, so just pick sales. I don't have to explain it anymore, like just pick sales. Continue. Now, as you can see here, when we press create, it created a campaign here, an ad set here, and an ad here. So we're going to explain what are those basically, why create three, not just one, so you can have a better understanding of how the ads are structured inside your ad account. So as you can see here, we can go back as well, and you can see that in campaigns, you see this campaign. When you go in ad sets, you see this ad set. And in ads, you see this ad. And if we press edit, you're going to see campaigns, ad sets, ad. So basically, it's a folder mechanism. You have a campaign that is the campaign that you're going to have is the big folder that has everything. On the campaign level, as you can see, you can select the budget with other things as well, but mainly the budget. It's basically a big folder that has everything below that. And it has this symbol, a symbol of folder. So you understand, okay, it's a folder that has everything that I'm going to publish. When you go into the ad set, here it's just a subfolder that in this place you can do mainly, you can also do the budget. I'm going to explain more of that later on. But you can also select the optimization event, and you can select the targeting as well, and the audience that you want to target. So basically, on the ad set level, you do the targeting. That's what you have to remember. Ad set, targeting. Campaign, budget, and big folder. If you go into the ad, now you can select the Facebook page that you are going to have, and the creative that you are going to show, and of course the link that you are going to redirect people to. So ad is creative. We have campaign, big folder with the budget, with an asterisk, the budget. The ad set is basically the targeting. You do the targeting, and you can also do the budget. And on ad, it's the creative and the landing page. Of course, the most important part is the ad. This is where we actually are going to focus more on, because this has the biggest leverage inside your ad account. But of course, we're going to go through all the other sections so you can know exactly what they do. Now, since those at the campaign level is a folder, you're assuming that you can create multiple stuff inside this big folder. And that's true. What you can do is basically duplicate those campaigns. And in this folder right now, that it is the campaign level, as you can see, campaign, it's one folder that has two ad sets. And each ad set has one ad. Because the ad level also is a folder, you can do multiple ads here as well. So you can have multiple ads into an ad set that this ad set can be in a campaign with multiple ad sets. So yeah, I know that might be confusing, so I've created this graph. This is my sophisticated graph. And as you can see, this is the campaign. This big circle is the campaign. And in this folder, you can have multiple ad sets. As you can see here, one ad set, two, three, four ad sets. And for each ad set, you can have multiple ads. So the small circles right here are ads. So you can have one ad in one ad set. You can have multiple ads in one ad set. This is how it works in a nutshell. For our example and explanation, we're not going to go deep into multiple ad sets because, especially if you're running ads right now, you don't need that quite a lot. You need multiple ads, but multiple ad sets, it's not something that you are going to need all that much. But you have to know how the ad account works. It's going to help you a lot. Now, let's start and do all the process and fill all the boxes so you know exactly step by step what you need to do for your first campaign. Here we type a name, we give a campaign name. I would tell it as a creative testing campaign because this is what you are going to be doing in the beginning. Creative testing, basically test different ad angles, different creatives, different carousels, different images, different videos for your ads. So here, this you should turn that off if you don't want to run carousel campaigns. If you have more than 50 products, you should definitely start with catalog ads. If you don't have a lot of products, then it's going to be better to turn that off. We continue. This is reserved for only if you want to do catalog ads. Catalog ads are carousels, basically. So product catalog that shows the products to people. No images, not different images, not videos. So for the vast majority of brands out there, we're going to turn that off. In this section, we type the budget that we want to have in this campaign. Budget, many people might say to you that is super important, and there are a lot of formulas that can calculate what is the budget that you need to have here. But the reality is that it's not super important. Yes, you need to be able to spend some money on ads. I would say above $20 per day for you to be able to see some traction. If you cannot afford that, then you are not ready to run ads. But apart from that, the calculations are not super important. Many people say 2 times the AOV. Many people say 1 time the AOV. For people that have context, AOV is the average order value, so the average cart that you have. But the reality is that if you have like a $4,000 product, you cannot spend that. It's going to be too much. So I wouldn't suggest that. So go above $20 per day, and according to the results you are going to see, adjust it. The main thing with budget is the amplification of the results. So if you have $20 per day, you are going to see the same results in 30 days than if you were spending $60 in 10 days. So it's amplification of the results. How fast you want to see results, how fast you want to grow. So the campaign budget isn't too important. Just have a budget above $20 per day and just start running ads. Now, let's set it to 50, and the budget is important for decision making, but not for the campaign level. Keep that in mind. The budget is going to be useful when we are testing creatives. So there, the budget is affecting the decisions that we're going to take. We are starting with $50 per day for this particular ad account, and we scroll down. Here, those things are not important. You shouldn't try to use that. You shouldn't try to do that. Of course, you can check that if you have any issues with any of those, like if your product is service-based or anything. But for like the vast majority of Shopify stores, you should ignore everything. Now we have set up everything for campaign. We give it a name, we select the budget, and that's about it. Like you don't have to do anything else. Here, of course, you can have the bidding strategy, and this is where it actually gets interesting. Like the budget can be not a campaign budget, but an ad set budget, which means that you can select the budget on the ad set level. And this, for now, you don't have to do that. It's basically what I told you, that if you create on the ad set level, you are going to change basically the ad set, and here you are going to have a tab for the budget, where if you actually select that, the campaign budget here, you're not going to have this selection right here. It's not very important, at least for right now. You don't have to actually overcomplicate that. Just have campaign budget, because for this particular setup, we're going to have only one ad set below. So it doesn't really matter if the campaign budget is on the campaign level or on the ad set level. Now, let's go on the ad set and see what selections we have here. Here we have the targeting. One of the targeting is basically the conversion event. As I told you before, the conversion event is super important. It is one of the most important things that you have to take into account. And here, for the vast majority of e-commerce businesses, you have to select purchase. Purchase is what you want from people that are entering your store. You need them to have this buying intent. And this is going to target better audience than if you were doing any other optimization event here, like add to cart or initiate checkout. So just pick purchase here if you have a Shopify store, and scroll down to see what other selections you might have. Also, as you can see here, we have our pixel. This is the pixel that we have created before in the previous step, and because we connected this pixel with this ad account, we can see that here. If we didn't did that connection earlier, we wouldn't be able to see the pixel here. So if you cannot see that right now, maybe you didn't follow the steps correctly that I showed earlier. Now scroll down and see what we see here. Now for the attribution, I would always go for 7 days click-through, 1 day engage view, and 1 day view. These are the default options and are the best options in my opinion, because you give more data to Facebook. Facebook is optimizing better because it's going to track more sales. Basically, if someone sees your ad and they don't click right away, but they go into the Google search, find your product and buy there, Facebook is going to track that, and you want this data to feed it back to Facebook, because it's going to help with the optimization phase. So basically, when your campaign is getting sales, it's going to optimize better and be able to target better the people that you want to target. That's why you need to have those attribution selections here. Scroll down. Here we can have we can set up the date that we are going to launch the ad. The best date to start is the day that you want to launch your ads at 6 a.m. It would be best, because you are going to spread the budget evenly across all day. If you launch the ad at 5 p.m. for example, you might see that it's going to overspend a little bit in the beginning, and it might affect the initial results. So I would say, just to be safe, just go for 6 a.m. and work on that, work with that. Now for audience, here is the other targeting, which basically we target specific states, countries, interests, people. Here is where we do the targeting. As you can see here, we have an Advantage Plus on. What does that mean? It means basically that Facebook is really good at targeting, so it's going to optimize and target better on its own. You don't have to do that. Facebook is doing that automatically, because they have a lot of information about their users. So even if you don't have anything here, I mean nothing, Facebook is going to target correctly. But in the beginning, you need to have in mind that Facebook might not be very efficient at targeting, especially if you have some products that the creative is going to appeal to a different target audience than the actual buyers. Let's say you have a brand like this and you create a catalog with these particular products. The problem with that is if you don't select women, for example, and you select just men, yes, Facebook, it's going to understand that your audience are women, in theory, but because Facebook is going to understand that based on the initial results that the ad is going to get, men especially might because they see a woman in the pictures and they might So Facebook is dumb like that and might say, okay, yeah, people are engaging are basically males 45 plus, So let's target them. So your targeting is going to be completely off, even though Facebook is really good at targeting, because the initial results are going to be off, especially for those kinds of products. And for you to be safe and you don't have that issue and unexpected targeting, especially in the beginning, you need to set up some targeting options. So yes, we're going to do some targeting. Here we are going to select the country. Of course, you can select multiple countries. There is not a specific blueprint for that. You have to understand your ideal customer market and understand and do tests basically if you don't know. The United States most of the time can be alone because it's a really big market and you can target it on its own. So especially if you operate in United States, just have United States right here. If you have multiple countries, like the other countries, like the northern countries, you can select like multiple different countries and have that in here. But the main focus is here, like who are you ready to ship? If you're ready to ship in United States, just have United States on its own. If you can ship to multiple countries and United States, you can add here multiple countries and United States, but I suggest you try United States alone first and do some iterations with the other countries in different ad sets and understand how it's performing. We're going to evaluate how you calculate data and how you understand if a campaign is working or not later on. Here we select the age. So if we go for the Advantage Plus on, we are going to select like just the minimum age. We don't need that. Like for you to be able to target better and have specific audiences, especially in the beginning, you need to select where it says further limit the reach of your ads. This is something that Facebook does. Like this is the old setup. So here is, especially your first campaign, this is what you need to select. So here you select the location, here you select the ideal age group. I would suggest you opening up a little bit, like if your ideal customer is 23 to 35, just add like 20 to 45. It's going to help you a little bit because you might uncover some things that you didn't know about your audience. And Facebook, even if you have like completely broad, most likely it's going to invest most of the money on 20 to 35. So the budget that's going to go into 45 plus, it's not going to be too much. So it's not going to be a huge problem. But in the beginning, you can minimize that. You can select because your pixel is not trained. So Facebook doesn't know who is your ideal customer avatar. So for you to be able to guide it, you need to have like a specific age group that you're going to target. So for this particular scenario, I'm going to go 20 to 55. Use as a suggestion. This can work better, but in the beginning, let's not have that because our goal right now is to train the pixel, is to guide it a little bit so it understands who is our ideal customer avatar. This strategy is completely different if you're already running a lot of ads. If you're running a lot of ads, yes, then you need to have like most of the time the recommended setup works very well. So you can have even the recommended setup without everything is going to be broad. But for now, let's stick to that. Now, detail targeting. Here you add some interests. I would suggest you adding some interest tag, like at least 2 or 3 different interests to at least like have a decent chance of targeting the people. So let's say you have matcha tea, so a wellness like interest is going to be super helpful, for example, to give some context. Here you don't have too many options and those options are not affecting the targeting too much, so you shouldn't focus too much on that. Even if you go broad, you are going to get sales if your product is good. This is just for suggestion for Facebook to understand who is your ideal customer avatar. So don't focus too much on that. It is important, especially in the beginning, but not too important. So just have like 2 to 3 different interests inside there so you can guide your pixel better. This is all we do here. Here we are going to have the placements. So basically where our ads are going to show. The thing is here, like the older strategy would be for you to go here and basically select the feeds and stories and all the other options you should remove, but because those are actually converting the best. But I would suggest you having that advanced plus on section on, so basically have everything on and test it. And when you see that most of the spend is going for audience network, for example, yes, maybe then you can remove that. But this is something that most of the time in the past Facebook didn't do quite well, so we had to remove those sections. But right now, this isn't the case. Facebook is going to have most of the budget on stories and feeds, so you don't have to actually minimize and close those selection right here, especially in the beginning. This is the targeting, as I told you. Is the ad set level, and basically we covered everything into the ad set level and what you need to do. Now let's go to the most important part, which is the ad. On the ad level, as you can see here, the first thing is we give it a name, of course. Here is the identity. Here is the Facebook page, and if your Facebook page and Instagram account are connected, both are going to be shown here. If you have multiple Facebook pages inside your business manager, your business portfolio right here, right now we have just one, but if we had multiple, we could select different pages right here. So basically we can run ads for every different Facebook page that we might have in one ad account. So you don't need multiple ad accounts to run ads for different businesses, but I would definitely suggest you having separate, because the reporting is going to be much easier. So ad account per business for sure, like one ad account for business. That doesn't mean that you can not run multiple businesses under one ad account. It just means for organizational purposes, just one ad account per Facebook page, it's going to be best. We scroll down and we see what type of ads we can do. The flexible is something that I wouldn't suggest you starting with, because it's something that basically what it does, it has like multiple, you can have like multiple images, videos, carousels playing in loops. This is something that can work, but you don't have data in what actually works, like what creative is actually converting, what creative does not. So you cannot optimize the ads correctly. That's why don't use flexible for now. Now, here we see like single image or video and carousel. Those are going to be the main options. For, as you might understand, like single image, what it is, for example, those are static ads and those are video ads. So in your feed, you are going to see video or static ads. Whatever creatives you have, you add them there. Here, what we do in the website URL, we just add like the page that we're going to redirect people to. So you go into your Shopify store, you find the page that you want to target people. Let's say you created a static ad for this particular product. What you do is you take this particular URL and you add it right here. For example, we scroll down and we see setup creative. Here we select if it's going to be an image ad or a video ad. Whatever you have, you just can add it right here. So if you have an image ad, you select that, you go into media and you select the image that you want to advertise. And here you select the pixel. Basically, as you can see, this is the pixel that we have created and we select the pixel right now. Here, the URL parameters are not important, like because you're with Shopify and the Meta app that we just used, you're going to have server to server integration. So the URL parameters are not super important right now. Now, when you add your image here, you set up an image or a video. Here you add the primary text and the headline. You select setup creative, image ad. Here you type media, you click upload, and you select this one. And then you press next and next. Here you add your primary and headline. How you can create this text right here. Like it's fairly simple. You don't have to overcomplicate that. I'm going to show you just the simple way to do it. So you basically go into your website that has the product that you want to advertise. You press Command A and you copy everything. And you go into ChatGPT, you paste that inside here. And then you tell ChatGPT, create primary text and headline and also description for Facebook ads for this particular product. and then you press next. It's going to generate for you some copy that you can use for your ad. Of course, you can, if you don't like the style that it's being written and the way that it's all typed, then you just like edit it or prompt ChatGPT to come out with better answers and better copy. But for this example, let's just work with these ones, and we press that, and we go into headline again, and we type it here, and the description, we take that, and here in most cases you need to have like shop now, so just shop now and press next. Now the enhancements, it's something that you can test. I would definitely suggest you opening the music. It's going to help, especially with static ads. Ad overlays, it's something that I wouldn't do right now because it's a matter of your brand, like how you want to present your brand. The visual touch-ups, text improvements, I wouldn't do them. Enhanced CTA, these can work, but sometimes it actually covers the image that you have created, so people are not seeing the complete picture. And the catalog is something that you should definitely enable. Right now we haven't actually, we are not able to do that for this particular ad account, but when you see catalog, you just enable and then press done. If you have multiple creatives, you just hit quickly duplicate, and in these other creatives, you just add like more creatives inside here. So basically you add another image here, and then you press quickly duplicate, and you add another image right there, and you continue like that. After you have everything ready, you just press review and publish. And just like that, you are going to have your first ad. Just press review and publish, and you are going to have your first ad published. It's fairly simple, and you have everything you need right now. You just launch your first ad. Of course, the example that I showed you right here is just a sample brand that I just found randomly. This creative is just a stolen creative that I found from their website, and as you can see, because it is 600 and by 600 pixels here, I'm not going to be able to publish this ad even if I wanted to, which I don't, of course, because the pixel is not at the right size. But yes, this was just an example, and this is how you launch your ads. Now for the optimization event, we are going to go for the optimizing the ads. We are going to go into another ad account that I'm currently managing, so you can see how you can optimize, because this ad account is not going to have any data, of course. That's why we're going to go into another account that has a spend. After you launch your ads, you're going to start seeing some results right here. But those tabs are not super understood because they have so many different data that you don't know what it is. Now we have to select the columns. The columns are super important because right now, as you can see, you might see some data, but after you run some ads, you can see here how much money you've spent. You see here some traction, but you don't see the whole picture. So I'm going to tell you exactly what columns you need to set up for your ad account, especially if you're running a Shopify store. Those columns are specifically if you manage a Shopify store, and those are going to be the columns that you need to monitor so you can understand your whole funnel and how everything works. So what those columns should be, you just you don't use performance, you create a column that's going to be custom, you remove everything like that, and then what you need to have, first of all, budget, of course. How much budget are we spending? Then you need to have amount spent. How much money have you spent for this particular time that you have the filter on? Then we have purchase, which is going to be the main goal that you might have, that you have for your campaigns, for your Shopify campaigns. For the purchase, you need to select first the value, it is important. Then you need to select the ROAS. Then you need to select the purchases total and purchases cost. Then we need to have results. We have results and cost per result. Then we have initiate checkout, total and cost. We have cart, total and cost. We have link clicks. We have CPC, and we have link clicks, and then we have CTR. Then we have CPM. Then we have date, And if you also want, you can have engagement. Basically, engagement rate ranking. It's going to help you make some decisions. And then date created and date last edited. Now that we have selected everything, you need to remove every checkbox that you see here. So basically, we remove that, we remove all those, we remove all those. You are going to understand specifically what I'm doing right now after I save the columns. So when we save the columns, you give it a name, your name, for example, and then we're going to have all the columns that we might need. As you can see here, we can see the budget, especially if we enter here, we can see the budget, but not only that, we can see how much money we've have been returned for the budget. So you can see how much money we spent, how much money we made. Those columns pair very well together. Here you're going to see the ROAS, which is like the division between this and this number. It is this number right here. Purchases is the amount of purchases you have received, and basically we track everything like that. The cost per purchase is the cost that for you to bring one sale. So basically it is the amount spent divided by the purchases. This is the cost per purchase, how much you've spent to bring one purchase in. And of course, this matters into your profitability. Like you might be losing money with a $7 cost per purchase. You might be making money with a $7 cost per purchase. So it all depends. Now, results is the optimization event is the same as the website purchases and cost per purchase. And here we have the checkouts. How many checkouts we had, what is the cost per checkout, what is the how many add to carts we had, and what is the cost per add to cart, how many link clicks we have, and what is the cost per link click, what is the CTR of the ad, basically how much of the people that saw the ad actually clicked to see the contents and to actually visit your website. And this is the percentage. And the CPM is the cost per 1,000 impressions. How expensive are your ads right now? And here we have like the dates, so you can monitor better like what is going on inside your funnel. This way you can monitor all your funnel, like how many people clicked, and you're gonna understand how many people actually purchased. So you already know what is the conversion rate of your website. How many people added to cart, how many people from the people that added to cart initiate checkout, and how many people from the initiate checkout went to purchase. So you see the whole customer journey this way. And those are the columns that you need to have always. Of course, you optimize mainly with just the ROAS. You don't see anything else but ROAS. This isn't always the case. You can see all the data inside your funnel and understand if an ad is working or not and make decisions. Now we're going to see how you can optimize your ads effectively. Now, the recommended setup for a campaign, if you want to start right now, it's going to be just one campaign with $20 to $50 per day, one ad set with a broad targeting. Of course, you can have some interest inside there as suggestions to guide a little bit more the pixel, as I said earlier, but this is going to be the main setup, the simple setup. And here you can have like multiple creatives. So how a setup like this looks like. So if we go into this ad account, for example, and we see, you're going to see like we have this campaign right here, we have this campaign right here with one ad set and those creatives inside. So this is going to be the recommended setup, and this is what you need to launch first. Now, this is going to be the simplest setup that you can test. You don't have to overcomplicate more than that. This is going to be all you need. Of course, you can do different things and basically have multiple ad sets with different audiences, have lookalike audiences and all that. But if you're just running ads right now, you are going to, with this setup right here, where you're going to have like 80% of the results with 20% of the work, like Pareto's principle style. So just have this setup that I have here as recommended, and you are going to be fine. Now, about the creatives, now how we optimize and how we actually launch new creatives. With this setup right here, the good thing is that it's going to be easy for you to test new creatives and test new things without you needing to adjust the budget, change the budget and do all kinds of that. This is going to be the simplest setup that everyone can do without you need to have someone as expert to help you manage your ad account, adjust your budget accordingly. This way you are only changing very specific things inside this ad account. What are those things? When you want to launch a new creative, let's say you want to launch a new creative for this particular ad account, what you can do is just press duplicate, go into this ad set, this one ad set that you have, you press duplicate, you remove all that, and you press duplicate, and after you press duplicate, you give it a name right here, you change the creative, and you basically publish. And this way you're going to launch a new creative. So you have just one campaign that is running with multiple creatives, and you test them accordingly. Now, how you actually make decisions though, because yes, we covered how you launch new creatives, but how you make decisions based on the results. The thing is that, first of all, you have to go into the ad set level. Right now, because we have just one campaign, it's going to be easy for us to just go into the ad set level and monitor this section right here. So you just select the ad set and you go into the ad level and you watch that part right here. Now, what you do here, for example, we see that based on the metrics that we have right here, you can see here that we have some results. For this particular campaign, the results are amazing, as you can see. If we the first thing that you have to do is go into the amount spent and basically see which creative is taking more of the spend. So for this particular scenario, as you can see here, most of the spend is going on the image 4. It is having 5 ROAS, which is really good, really profitable ROAS for us, and it's working pretty well. This is the leading ad, as we say. Let me remove that. This is the leading ad, as we say. Now, we have other 3 ads that are getting some spend. They're also profitable. So in this scenario right here, we don't need to close any creative. If a creative is bringing, like, the only 2 columns that you need to look is the ROAS, basically. If the ROAS is good, like you're making money, don't touch the campaign. You can scale the campaign, you can increase the budget of the campaign, but you don't need to do anything else in this particular campaign. For this particular campaign, we don't need to change anything. What is going to happen if we actually duplicate a new creative inside here? Facebook is going to understand that this is a new creative, and the new creative that we just launched, it's going to get some spend, and it's going to basically take the spend from this one ad and spend like about half of it into the new creative. If Facebook understands that this creative isn't working very well, it's going to stop spending. This is going to take time. Like if we launch a creative right now, like for this particular campaign, it is going to take some spend. Like for example, it might spend like $18, but the next day it's going to drop. It's going to fall, and it's going to redistribute to all the other creatives, basically. So this way you test efficiently. Yes, the ROAS of the campaign, it's going to drop if you do that, because you assume, like, especially if the new creative isn't as good as the first creative, for sure it's going to drop the ROAS. But the other option was to actually create a new campaign with a different budget, test it, and this way your overall ROAS is going to drop even more if you wait like 2 to 3 times the EOV. So just add a new creative inside here and test it. It's going to be the most efficient option, even though you might see that the ROAS is going to drop for a little bit. And to say to all the media buyers that might hear this and they say, yes, this is not a good thing, you shouldn't add new creatives into an already working campaign. The thing is that, yes, this is something that in the past it could ruin the campaign, but right now Meta has fixed that on the back end, and basically it doesn't really happen. It doesn't destroy the campaign that much. So it's going to be the simplest setup that you can follow, that someone that isn't a media buyer can follow and have an effective Facebook ad strategy that works. Because simplicity is key. Like if you don't have simplicity into your ad account, you're going to ruin everything because you don't know how to manage your ad account in more sophisticated ways. So this is going to be all you need. It is definitely 80% there. Of course, we have a 20% reserved for the people that they know what metrics to look and how to adjust the budget, and when it's the good time to change the campaign and when it's time to close a campaign or optimize an ad set. But this is not for this particular video. Let's go to another campaign that we don't see similar results. We have more variations. So as you can see here, for this particular campaign, we have a creative like this that is taking budget, but it is the ROAS is low. For this particular account, if we're not above 2.8 ROAS, we are losing money. So in this case, this has to close. But when we actually close this ad, the best way to make a decision on that is to spend at least 2 times the AOV. So what is your AOV? Like, is it like $100? So it needs to spend at least $200. This is something that you can have in your mind, that this is something that you should think about before closing. But also you have to keep in mind that for many products, this is not possible. If you're selling a sofa for $4,000, you cannot wait for the ad spend to get like 8K on spend, 8K on spend just to close it. So you don't do that. What you do instead, you basically see if it's taking budget, it means that if Facebook allocates budget to this particular campaign, it means that it might be working. So you just leave it if it's spending money. And if you see like the cost per person that all the other campaigns are getting sales and this is not, just close it. It's not going to affect too much. If you are not closing the leading ad, which is this ad right here, it is not going to affect too much the ad account. All the other ads, even if you close them, it's not going to affect it too much. So if an ad doesn't get spent and also the CTR, basically you see that the click-through rate is not in par with the other ads, just close it. You don't have to overcomplicate that. If you have ads, for example, those ads right here, like they didn't got a lot of budget, that's why we close them. But the thing is, like, if an ad doesn't take budget, even if you don't close it, it doesn't affect a whole lot the ad account. So even if you just launch and you don't kill ads, you just let Facebook stop spending money on those ads, this is going to be the right strategy as well. Of course, you have to keep in mind, if it's taking a lot of spend and it doesn't perform, you need to kill it. The 2 times AOV is a good rule, but of course, for some particular products, this is not going to be possible. So for those products, just compare with the leading ad. What are the results of the leading ad? What is the cost per cart? Is it higher or lower? For example, for this particular, what is the cost per initiate checkout? Is it higher or lower? As you can see here, for this particular ad, the cost per initiate checkout on the leading ad is $4, and for this particular ad is 4.9. So it's higher. That means that we can definitely kill this ad because the top of the funnel results are better for the leading ad. So don't fixate on the AOV, fix more on the leading ad, what the leading ad does and what are the performance indicators that I see from the leading ad. And right now that we have all the funnel right here, you can definitely understand that if the CTR is higher for the ad that we think about closing, and if the cost per add to cart is higher, and if the cost per purchase is higher than the leading ad, then close it. And this way you are going to just have like only good creatives inside your campaign. Now, the last thing that I want to share is about the creative mix. As I said, this is the Pareto principle, simplest campaign structure that you can have inside your ad account that's going to give you like 80% of the results with 20% of the effort. This is for someone not keen to actually becoming an expert media buyer, but a business owner that they want to have effective Facebook ads without needing to pay a retainer for a media buyer. So this is going to be the setup. As I told you, everything else is over complications. You don't need everything else. Of course, I'm not managing the ad accounts this way. Like most of the other accounts, I don't manage it this way, but it's just to get this extra 10%. But this extra 10% for you doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do. Just focus on that. The last thing that I want to mention is about the creative variations. Now, As I said before, the creatives that you need to have are carousels, videos, and static ads. Most of the time, videos are working better than static ads and carousels, and this is something that it's generally true because videos can convey more information, can convince someone to buy your product because they showcase more information about your product. So the people that are going to click inside the ad are going to be more convinced to actually go ahead and purchase. So videos need to be a big part of your ad strategy, but do not neglect carousels, because carousels for brands that they are having more than 50 products are going to be super useful. So have always inside the setup, have at least one catalog ad, and have also a mix of static ads and videos. Yes, if the ad spend goes really high, separating videos from static ads is super important. But right now, for simplicity, it doesn't affect the ad account too much. So stick to this right here. Now, for the last part, how to scale. When we have a campaign that is working, what you need to do is scale the campaign. So adjust the budget accordingly. Now let's talk about optimization, testing, and scaling. The reality is with scaling is that for most of you out there, when you launch your ads, you are not going to be able to scale. I know that you think that your main issue might be scaling, but it's not. It's about having a profitable ROAS and then scaling. Test different creatives and find a creative that's actually bringing you good ROAS, and then try to scale. This process is going to take at least a month to test new creatives with the same budget until you find a break-even creative that is working for you. So I don't want to overcomplicate and overanalyze the scaling, because the scaling is actually fairly easy. What you need to do is just increase budget. The rule is to increase the budget from 20% 20% every 48 hours, says the rule. But the thing is that if you're below $500, you can scale even more without you expecting the ROAS to decrease. So this is not important. Let's talk about like the structure. Now, for the first month, it's going to be a test phase. So you just create new different creatives every single day or every single week, and you launch it inside the setup that we have implemented, which is like a campaign with an ad set and multiple creatives. You test that. And basically, how you optimize. Now, you go into the campaign and you basically see the 3-day and 7-day window. So what you do is you go into the campaign and you see what happened in the last 3 days. So we click the last 3 days without the today date, and you see that we have a really amazing ROAS. And you do that again, and for this one, like, you select which doesn't have like the amazing ROAS. You select this one and you go into the 7 day. On the 7 day, you can see that this is underperforming as well on the 7-day window. So that means that this ad can be killed. So we just kill this ad and we leave the budget to spread on all the other ads. So this is how you optimize. Now, of course, you don't see just the ROAS. You can see, especially if you have high AOV product, you do the same process. You don't look at the ROAS, but basically you look at the cost per checkout or cost per add to cart. If the cost per add to cart is high, you kill it. If it's not, compared to the leading ad, then you leave it. Basically, you do that once a week. Now, and the setup is not performing, kill, not performing, of course, kill the creative and move on. If it's performing well, then you increase the budget. You can definitely increase the budget by 50% or more, especially if you are below $500 per day on spend. It's not going to affect the ad too much. And that's about it. Basically, you optimize. We showed how you create your business manager, how to set up your ad account and everything, how to connect your Shopify to Facebook, how to fix your columns, how to launch your ads, how to monitor your ads, how to optimize and scale your ads. This is the simplest strategy that you can use and is very, very effective. So if you want to start running ads, Just follow the steps that I showed you, and you are good to go. You don't need anything else. I hope that this video was useful. If you liked it, please click the subscribe button below, and see you in the next one.